What's up, everybody? So I'm going to tell you why we decided to move to Highlands Ranch instead of anywhere else around the Denver metro. Some of my friends have been asking me because I've been a real estate agent. I'm in my 6th year now, and so I've seen a lot of different areas and neighborhoods around the Denver metro. And this is how we made the decision to move to Highlands Ranch. It was kind of always on my mind that I'd like to move here. It was not on my wife Ellie's mind. She did not want to go to Highlands Ranch. She thought it was way too far south, and we're not going to have any friends, and we're going to be isolated, which are all kind of reasonable things to be concerned about, because Highlands Ranch geographically is pretty large, so you can end up being very far away from pretty much everything. But here's kind of the main reasons why we decided to move here. So when it comes to looking at houses, I always prioritize three things, or I think there's three main things that are the priorities when it comes to looking at a house and deciding whether or not a house is a good fit for you. So the number one thing is going to be location. The main thing that you're buying when you're buying a house is location, and especially for us, we just had our second daughter, so it's really important for us to buy in a place where it's going to be a good long-term fit. I don't want to move. I don't want to buy and sell houses every 5 years or whatever. I want to buy the good long-term house that's going to last us at least a decade, or more. I could see us being in this current house for up to 20 years probably. But the main thing is I wanted to feel really good about the neighborhood. I wanted to like the general culture around us, and I wanted to be able to enjoy the area. So some of the aspects about Highlands Ranch is that you just get a lot of like normal kind of suburban families. That's kind of what I was looking for, is just the epitome of like suburban vibes. If that's what you're looking for, if you're growing a family, that's what a lot of people are looking for. Highlands Ranch is a great place to go. I grew up in South Aurora. Very similar vibes in South Aurora. Very family oriented, great schools. We're in the Douglas County School District, and very high quality. So location, we're just 5 minutes south of C470. So for me as a real estate agent, I'm always driving all around the Denver metro, so it was pretty important for me to be kind of close to the highway. So that kind of removed that objection for us, just being that close to the highway, of Highlands Ranch, like just being too far south. There's parts of Highlands Ranch that you can go to where you're like 25 minutes from C470, but we live in Northridge. We bought Northridge, so we're pretty close. We're also 5 minutes south of Lifetime Fitness. Love Lifetime. In Highlands Ranch, you get access to 4 different rec centers. We originally canceled Lifetime. We were just going to use these rec centers. The rec centers are great. Lifetime is just really nice. It's just kind of one of those splurge expenses that we have, where we think it's worth it. We think the value is there. So we're just 7 minutes south of Lifetime, and then South Suburban Golf Course is 5 minutes north of us too. That's right next to Lifetime, so that's pretty easy to get down to if you like golfing. It's pretty low cost. We're not technically residents, so we don't get the resident rate, but it's still pretty close. And Highlands Ranch has a couple other good golf courses too, but South Suburban is kind of my favorite. It's also very beautiful as far as location goes. There's a lot of open space. And all this open space is floodplains. So it's going to be like protected. Like they're not going to be building houses there. So if you look at Highlands Ranch on Google Maps, there's just tons and tons of open space. And it's very beautiful, just rolling hills. So I love that aspect. I kind of wanted to live in a pretty area. Low crime. That doesn't really exist. I mean, you get like teenagers breaking into cars and stuff. That's kind of the one thing about Highlands Ranch that's been surprising to me since moving there, is I haven't lived around teenagers since I was growing up. So I don't know, I moved out of my parents' house when I was 17. It's been a really interesting experience living around teenagers. They can be pretty reckless. They have a bunch of e-bikes. Also bears. We have bears in Highlands Ranch. There's a drought this year, and when droughts happen, bears tend to get a little bit closer to civilization. So that's kind of funny. and I'm pulling up to my next appointment, so I'm gonna have to make this a 3-part series. But those are kind of the main aspects that I like about the location. It's just, and also just like the overall infrastructure of Highlands Ranch is awesome. So you got like wide roads, logical layouts, the parking lots are very logical, all the parking lots and grocery stores, department stores, restaurants, they all like connect and flow really well together, where like when you're driving downtown or closer to Denver, you go to a parking lot and like this parking lot has a wall between the next parking lot, and like it just doesn't flow as well. Where like in Highlands Ranch, it's just like all very beautiful, beautifully designed, really well planned out. So that's another thing that's been surprising to me. I didn't necessarily buy here because of that, but I just generally like it because of that. So yeah, that's it for the location. Up next, I'm going to talk about the pricing of Highlands Ranch, and then third, I'm going to talk about the style and condition of the houses. So this is it for location. There's a lot more that I could talk about, but I'm trying to be succinct here. Succinct, brief in my speech. I'll talk to you guys soon.